Hello everyone, welcome back to Kiran's English Hub. So in this video, I'm going to teach you Unit 3 Grammar and Vocabulary. The Unit 3 is Puru the Brave. Okay, so let us get into this. First, you have glossary of reading A. Let us look at the glossary of reading A. Okay, the first one, go down. Go down is given as the meaning of your bravery will go down in the history. So go down here is a phrasal verb which gives the meaning of to be recorded. It will be recorded. That means everyone will be remembered. Next one, Your Highness. This is the title when you use to refer to a king, or when you want to talk to the king. Before you could do that, you use Your Highness. Next one, warfare is the act of fighting war. Okay, the act, different techniques and all together, that is called as the act of the warfare. Next, Your Majesty is when you address the royal people. So Your Highness and Your Majesty both are used to address the people. Next one, vessel is a man promising to fight for the king in return for the right to hold land. Okay, so it is just like a slavery. So you hold my land, so you become my vessel. That means like my subordinate simply. Okay, next one, you have vocabulary, that is pick out the antonyms from the words which are given here. So we have to look at this. If possible, you have to use those words in the sentences. Okay, now look at this. Victory. Victory is triumph, or victory is success. What is the opposite of that? Yes, victory is success, and as the antonym you can use loss. Timid is one who is afraid, and you can use brave. Let me write here below. Brave. Okay, next one. Humble. What is the antonym for humble? Humble, when you are so respectable. Opposite you can use as proud. Okay, next one, accept, reject. Okay, next one, dependent, independent. Next one, you have fill in the blanks here, and you have to use these options which are given in those blanks. Okay, look at this first one. I know that you are very dash. I know that you are very what? Very skillful. Can we use that skillful? Maybe. And dash. So skillful and same type of word must be used. Skillful is adjective. Same type of word where do you respect, worthy, lawful is adjective. Okay, so skillful and lawful of the position you hold. Let us check them, rest of the ones. But I'm really dash to know. But I'm really, am is followed by v3 or v4. There is no v4, only v3 we have to use. How many v3s are there? Amazed, frightened, conquered. To know that you feel as though you have. I'm amazed. Can we use amazed here in the third one? Let us check amazed. Amazed, to know that you feel as though you have dash the world, as though you feel you have conquered the world, as though you conquered the world. That means when somebody, not what do we say? Though they are not successful, they feel like they conquered the world. Next, these days nobody is being remain being worthy, being proposal, being captured lawful. Which one can we use? Nobody is being frightened by other can be used. Okay, nobody is so afraid of other people. That is the meaning. Next, I would like to make a dash. I would like to make what? A proposal. Okay, next one, so that you will dash humble, you will remain humble. Will plus v1 is needed, and dash. Remain humble and lawful. Here you can use lawful. Next, I hope my words, what can you use? I hope my words capture your imagination, because speaking about the attention, imagination, and you dash me as your teacher. You respect me. Okay, so the first one, in the first one, only two are remaining. What are they? You're very skillful. One you can use skillful. Another one is worthy of the position. You're worthy of this position. Okay, so these are the fill in the blanks. Next, in the grammar part, we have, let's have a look at the following sentences from the text. My kingdom should remain independent. Okay, so here should is underlined. Next, you should treat me as your equal. Again, should is underlined. Next, I must say every Indian soldier fought like a soldier, tiger. So here must is underlined. So here in the sentence one, should indicates obligation, whereas in the second it indicates condition. Next, in sentence 3, must is used to indicate insistence on the part of the speaker, or something that is necessary. Okay, now it is also used when the speaker has authority over the listener. Okay, must is also used when speaker is in authoritative situation or position, and when the listener is in the obedience position, humble position. Next one, it is important to understand how the modals should and must are used. So people sometimes use should to indicate something that is desirable, and must to be indicated to indicate obligation. However, some people use them interchangeably. So if you have look at this section here, read the conversation between doctor and patient and fill in the blanks with should not, should, must not. Okay, now look at this. Doctor says, Mr. Rao, what exactly is your problem? Patient, I have been suffering from gastric problem for long. Doctor, Mr. Rao, I dash say you dash eat non-vegetarian. Okay, what can we use here? I must say, okay, you should not eat. Okay, so he's suggesting don't eat non-vegetarian or spicy food. Patient, can I eat boiled eggs or omelets, doctor? Doctor, isn't an egg non-vegetarian? You dash eat any non-vegetarian food for quite some time. Okay, that means he is telling very strongly that you should not eat. Okay, next one. In fact, you dash have stopped eating it long ago. Okay, that means he is telling that, in fact, he's telling that you must have stopped, kind of meaning. Before long ago only, you should have stopped. So which one can we use here? You should have stopped, you should have done, you should have gone. Stopped eating it long ago. You dash consult me a week. Okay, so you must, it is compulsion. You must consult me in a week. Next, I am sorry, doctor, I won't eat non-vegetarian food any longer. You are quite correct, doctor. I dash take your advice. So here what can you use? I should take your advice, and I must avoid eating non-vegetarian spicy food. Thank you very much, doctor. Doctor, you're welcome. I think you dash remember my advice. I think you should remember my advice can be used. Next, look at the following sentences from the text. But the generals are not so good as ours. The Indian generals are not so skillful as the Greek generals. It has been great battle, perhaps the greatest of my life. So the above sentences 1 and 2, the Indian generals are compared with Greek generals. The third sentence means it was a greatest or the best battle of his, that means Alexander battles. Next one, when we want to compare one thing with another, we use degrees of comparison. So this is all case of degrees of comparison. Okay, so there are 3 degrees of comparison. What are they? Positive degree, comparative degree, superlative degree. So if we compare two things or two sets of things, we use positive or comparative. Okay, so positive is used to equalize, whereas comparative is used to show the difference. Okay, so both of them are used with only 2 people. Okay, Now if we compare more than two things or two sets of things, we use superlative degree. We can transform positive degree into comparative and superlative degree vice versa. So we can change one degree into another so easily. So let us observe the sentences here in 1 and 2 above. The generals are not so good as ours. This is positive degree, good. Next, the Indian generals are not so skillful as the Greek generals. Okay, this is also in the positive degree. Now, underline the words in the above sentence. They are all adjectives. So they are the positive forms of adjectives. The forms of these adjectives are given below. So good, better, best. So that is positive, comparative, and superlative. You must know this: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Skillful, most skillful are the positive, comparative, superlative. Now the two sentences are said to be in the positive degree since the adjectives are in the positive degree. Okay, since they are in the positive degree, we say that two sentences are in the positive degree. They can be transformed into comparative degree by changing the adjectives into comparative degree and making certain changes. So when you want to change them into comparative, you can make the changes. One in positive degree, you have to change it into comparative, and certain other changes are also needed. Okay, look at this. Our generals are better than their generals. So there is comparison between our generals and their generals. Okay, so here we are using better, that is comparative degree. Next, Greek generals are more skillful than the Indian generals. More skillful is another adjective here, which is the comparative degree used to compare Greek generals with the Indian generals. Okay. Now look at the third sentence. It is the greatest battle of my life. Now above the above sentence can be turned into comparative and positive degree as shown below. Look at this. It is greater than any other battles of my life. Greater, here greater is comparative degree. Okay. So we are comparing one battle with any other battle here. Next, no other battle of my life is so great as, this is positive degree. Great, greater, greatest. Okay, so this is positive degree, this is comparative degree, this is superlative degree. Now look at the following sentence in the superlative degree of comparison. Puru is one of the bravest kings in the world. So this sentence means that there are few kings in the world who are as brave as Puru. It also means that Puru is the only bravest king in the world. So let us see how the above sentence can be transformed into comparative and superlative. If you look at this, Puru is one of the bravest kings. Okay, this is superlative degree here. Now, if you change this into positive and comparative, look at this. Puru is braver than many other or most other kings in the world. Okay, so here we are comparing Puru's bravery with other kings here. So for that we are using other and most other kings. Next one, very few kings in the world are as brave as. So this is positive degree here. Got it? Now observe the following forms of comparison of some adjectives. If you look at this, positive, comparative, and superlative are given. So nice, nicer, nicest, short, shorter, shortest, big, bigger, biggest, great, greater, greatest, fast, faster, fastest, worthy, worthier, worthiest, frightened, more frightened, most frightened, lawful, more lawful, and most lawful. So here, if you go down, change the following sentences into other forms of comparison as indicated in the brackets. So you have sentences here, you have to change them into different comparisons using the indicators which are given in the blanks here. Okay, look at the first one. Rahul Dravid is one of the greatest batsmen. Okay, so when you use greatest batsman, that means the statement is in the superlative. So when you change that, what is the comparative degree you can get? So you can use Rahul Dravid is greater than many other or any other batsman in the world. Okay, so Rahul Dravid is greater than any other batsman in the world. So we are comparing Rahul Dravid with any other, that is negative. Next one, Alexander was the greatest soldier in the world. Okay, so again this is in superlative degree, you have to change that into positive. So how do you change it? Very few soldiers in the world are as great as Alexander. So in the positive degree, use as great as. Okay. Next one, India is one of the fastest developing countries in the world. Change this into comparative degree. Fastest is superlative. Change this into comparative. How do you get this? India is faster than many other developing countries. India is faster than many other developing countries in the world. That is comparative. Next, no other river in the world is so long as Nile. This is in the positive. Change it into superlative. So what is a superlative? You have to use Nile. Okay. So Nile is the longest river in the world. Okay. Nile is the longest river in the world. Next one. Hindi is one of the most popular languages in India. Change this into positive degree. The most popular, that is in the superlative degree. So when you change that into positive, it changes into very few languages in India are as popular as Hindi. Okay. Next one, Lara is not so great as Tendulkar. That is positive degree. Change that into comparative. If you change that, Tendulkar is greater than Lara. Okay. Next one, Rekha is one of the most beautiful girls in the class. Most beautiful is superlative. Change that into positive degree. So how do you change that? Very few girls in the class are as beautiful as Rekha. So here you are equalizing. Very few girls in the class are as beautiful as Rekha. Rekha is one of the most beautiful girls, right? So very few girls are beautiful as Rekha in the class. Next one, very few metals, very few positive degree. Very few metals are as expensive as platinum. Change this into comparative. So what is the comparative you get? Platinum is one of the, or platinum is more expensive. If you use one of the, that becomes superlative. Okay. So platinum is more expensive than many other metals. So many other metals becomes comparison here. So between platinum and many other. Next one, Shimla is colder than all other hill stations in Himachal Pradesh. That is in comparative. Superlative degree is Shimla. We have to only identify, highlight Shimla here. Shimla is the coldest. Okay, colder, coldest. It changes into coldest. Shimla is the coldest hill station in Himachal Pradesh. Okay. Next, Delhi is one of the most crowded cities of India. That is in superlative. Change that into positive. If you change that into positive, very few cities in India are as crowded as Delhi. Okay. So if you want, meanwhile, you can pause them, and also you can note down all the answers. Next one, here you have got sentences which are not in proper order. So they are all jumbled sentences. We have to rearrange them. Okay, so look at the sentences here. How can you rearrange? There are 12 sentences altogether. So look at the first one. Alexander asked Puru. Yes. Alexander asked Puru why he had rejected his offer. That cannot be the first sentence. Let us look at the next one. Alexander defeated many kings besides Puru. Cannot be used as the introduction here. See, third one is the introduction of Alexander. Third one can be the first one. Alexander was born in Greek and he was the disciple of the greatest Greek philosopher. Next, any sentence about Puru's introduction. Puru was a brave king. So here 3 and 9 can be used side by side. Okay, one is 3, another one 9. Next one, what can you use? Here look at this. There was a great battle between Alexander and Puru. So first Alexander introduction is given. Next one, Puru introduction is given. And what happened is there was one great battle between these two people. Okay. Now what happened in this? Puru killed more than 100 soldiers, but he was gravely injured in the battle. Can you use that? Yes, you can use 6-1. So during in that battle, Puru killed more than 100 soldiers. Okay. Now next what happens? Puru lost the battle as he had used the oldest methods of warfare and elephants. You can use the 7th one here after 6. Okay. Next one, what happened is Alexander, can we go with this? Alexander asked the soldiers to remove the chains. No, we cannot use it. Which one can we use here? Now, Puru lost the battle as he had used the oldest methods. Okay. And Alexander asked Puru to be his vessel, cannot be. Alexander liked Puru's bravery, no. Law is no, cannot be used. Puru lost the battle, though his generals and soldiers fought very bravely. Okay. Look at the first one. Can we use the first one? Alexander asked Puru why he had rejected his offer. No, cannot be used. Puru lost the battle, though his generals and soldiers fought very bravely. So this is a little bit clear here. Puru lost the battle. So that is already done, right? Puru lost the battle. Okay, so here fourth one can be included. Okay, 7-4. Next final one, what happened? Lawful cannot be used. Okay, so after defeat you can use this. After defeat, the soldiers of Alexander put this fellow Puru in the chains. So when he was in chains, Alexander asked the soldiers to remove the chains. Okay, we can use this. Now Alexander, can we use Alexander, the next one here? Alexander liked Puru's bravery, or Alexander asked Puru to be his vessel. Now Alexander asked Puru to be his vessel. Okay, so after removing the chains, Alexander asked Puru to be his vessel. But what happened? Puru said that he was lawful owner of his kingdom, so he cannot be his vessel. So eighth one you can use here. Okay. Now look at the first one. Alexander asked Puru why he had rejected his offer. That one can be the first one. Okay. So here actually we can change the statement. Okay. So here first we can go with the first one after 12. Alexander asked Puru to be vessel, but he rejected. Okay, he refused. Now Alexander was surprised and he said, "Why did you reject my offer?" That is the first one. Next, you can use here when Alexander asked him why he had rejected the offer. Puru said that he was the lawful owner of his kingdom. Okay, so eighth one can be used. Next one, 2 or 10. Alexander liked Puru's bravery and self-respect, so he became his best friend. So 10 you can use here. And at last, Alexander defeated many other kings beside Puru, became the world conqueror, and was called Alexander the Great. So at the end, we can use the case where the general sense or the general meaning of his victory is used. So this is the rearrangement order of all these sentences. In the exam, you may expect this type of questions. Okay. Now moving to another poem here. Glossary is there. Look at this glossary. Warrior is a soldier who is good at fighting. Next one, swooned is to become unconscious. So here, where do we have swooned? She nor swooned nor uttered a cry. That means she did not become unconscious or she did not cry anything. Next one, stole is to move silently, to move from one place to another. Next, friend and foe we say. Friend is, the friend you know. Foe is enemy. Next one, tempest is storm. Tempest is kind of sudden gush. Storm in the ocean is called as tempest. Okay. So this is it for this grammar and vocabulary of this unit, guys. So in the next video, I'm going to teach you Unit 4 vocabulary and grammar. So do subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to receive the notifications of the further videos. So thank you for watching. See you all in the next video.